Daniel Jones' play yesterday was atrocious. It was awful. It was really repulsive. Yeah. So now the question that I have for you is simple. This is a question you at home need to ask yourself. Should the Giants bench Daniel Jones?
Yes.
Ooh.
But you can't do it. But you can't do it. Wait 1 second. You can't do it. Yeah. I mean, when you decide to pay a dude $160 million contract, you give him that money. This is yours. This is for you. You can't bitch him. After, what, 4 games? Hell, I will say this. He's back. No, not back like balling. Back to what he used to be.
Yep.
What we know him as. And I said that. I said, what happens if you guys are playing around with the money? Should you pay Saquon? Should you pay Daniel Jones? What happens when he goes back to the guy that we know? The guy that we know before Dayball. And he's showing up.
Fair.
And there's another thing, another issue I hate. They fight and claw and argue about the running backs. And then you look at these quarterbacks that get all this money, they get hurt too, right? Kyler Murray got hurt, big contract. And then the ones that don't play well, Daniel Jones. Yeah, bad quarterback. We've been watching the last couple games. Bad, yeah, oh my God.
About 3, 4
listen.
bad.
He leads the league in picks, and he has 3 touchdowns on the whole year. He got 6 picks. 6 picks and 2 touchdowns?
That's bad.
3 touchdowns, that's bad. So, but you can't bench him. Too much money. Can't bench him.
I'm with Shady, man. I mean, especially when I'm looking at Tyrod Taylor behind him, a quarterback that's capable of going out there winning some games.
Yeah.
But you can't. I mean, you have given him all this money. 47 M's this season? That's
47?
That's 4th highest paid. And I'm not just talking about quarterbacks. That's 4th highest paid out of everybody in the National Football.
Wait, who's higher paid? Who's higher paid?
Bosa,
Okay.
Lamar,
Great player.
Patty.
Great players.
And then Daniel Jones?
And he's
tied with DeSean.
He's tied with Deshaun Watson for money this year.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
oh, my God.
So oh, my God.
You need a moment of silence, right?
So you can't take him out. I mean, I know Giants fans and, us up here is like, hey, man, yeah, he should be benched. But you can't take him out, so you got to find ways to try to help him play better. But I know you're not surprised. Are you surprised that we've seen this kind of Daniel Jones this season?
I am.
You surprised?
I am.
I want to know your why.
My why?
Yes.
Brian Daboll. Point, the grand opening, grand closing. Brian Daboll. I've seen what Brian Daboll has done with quarterbacks that aren't that great. Yeah. Brian Daboll at the collegiate level, Brian Daboll at the National Football League, Brian Daboll with Daniel Jones. Joy, I am surprised. I know you're not. Joy said it, screaming from the mountaintop, who's Daniel Jones without Saquon Barkley? I'm confused. Should the Giants bench DJ?
No, Daboll's a great coach. He's not turning water into wine.
He water?
Right. He ain't walking on water, huh?
And if I order wine and they bring me water, I'm going to send it back because that's not what I asked for. They asked for some wine, and they brought them some H2O, okay, which you need, but that's not, it's not going to have the same effect on you at the end of the night. No. We want to feel good, not just hydrated. Daniel Jones is exactly who we thought he was. Will the world Daniel Jones please stand up? You saw him last night. I get it. He had a little moment, and sometimes that's all we need. But we just want to believe. Just
a moment, man. Give me a moment.
A few drops. And that's what he did last year, and everybody fell in love, even though I was the first one to give the Giants credit last year. So we got to pay attention to the Giants. They're doing a little something. We're not talking about them a lot, but they're doing a little something. And then what did they do? Went right back to being the Giants, but it was too late. It was too late. They'd already snuck into the playoffs. They already convinced us they were a good team. They won 9 games last year. 9. And Daniel Jones was better.
He was.
To be honest.
He was.
He wasn't great. He was just a little bit better. So we started to believe. And you know who else believed? The Giants. And it happens. Sometimes you get scammed. You know what? It happens every day.
And this for me, too, because you brought up Dayball. Defense is going to the offseason, and you're like, okay, this is what the Giants like to do with Daniel Jones, right? You have a whole offseason to kind of scheme for these quarterbacks that you played against last year that you might be playing against this year. So you came into this season, you gave him all that money, and you're like, okay, he's going to evolve now, year 2 under Brian Daboll's system. And what's showing up is the same Daniel Jones that we are used to seeing, and that is the average Daniel Jones. And I know the Giants paid him because a lot of guys, Shady, are getting paid off potential now. It ain't really about the numbers that you're putting up and all that. It's about what we think this dude is going to be. So Daniel Jones having a solid year last year, Brian Daboll on the Giants is like, okay, this is what we think he's going to be. But if he's not playing that kind of football with leads and able to run some boots and keep it and one read type stuff, he's not a good quarterback. And I know Shady said bad, but he's not a good quarterback. And he showed us when you have to put more on his shoulders, he throws interceptions and he does not make the play, whether it's fumbles or whatever, it's turnovers, and that's on the Giants.
But here is my question then for everybody. My question is, this Daniel Jones is even worse than the Daniel Jones we've seen previously.
Yes.
His rookie year, 24 touchdowns, 12 picks. His sophomore year, I think he had 11 touchdowns, 10 picks. His third year, he had 10 touchdowns, 7 picks. Last year, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. This 2 touchdown, 6 pick, DJ, even I'm shocked by it being this bad.
But just read those stats again. Listen to them stats.
24 touchdowns, 12 picks.
Solid.
11 touchdowns, 10 picks.
Lord have mercy.
10 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Lord have mercy.
15 touchdowns, 5 picks.
That's why I'm saying, like, he's an average quarterback and you paid him off potential and now he's not rewarding you, but this is the same Daniel Jones that you paid. And I'm not saying the same Daniel Jones getting sacked 10 times. O-line got a little bit to do with that. You know what I'm saying? But just decision-making, right? I tell y'all all the time, where are you looking at with the ball? And it's a lot of those.
We should sprinkle a little bit of blame on last night on the 11 sacks. Like, that was historic. It hadn't happened since 1987 that a team had allowed more than one defender to have multiple sacks. They had 4 defenders with multiple sacks. 1987 was a good year, by the way, but not for this stat. 11 sacks is ridiculous. Now, Daniel Jones deserves credit for how badly he played, but I don't know how many quarterbacks can get sacked 11 times and have a good night.
Yeah, and the Seahawks don't have like any great pass rushers like that.
Yeah, and the special teams was bad as well.
I think, but yeah, the linemen, they had some tackles out, some guys out on the offensive line for the Giants. But also, I mean, some of that is him holding the ball. Some of that is I'm not sure where I should go with the ball. Now I'm waiting, now I'm stuck. And then once that happens, those are sacks. Yeah. Right. So a lot of that is, or some of that is the line, but I think a lot of it is Daniel Jones. But you know what? When Saquon Barkley got hurt, I was so mad. Oh, he's hurt. Then I found out what it was. Oh, it was like a sprain. Cool, right? And I felt better, not because the injury wasn't that severe. It's because let's see what this offense is without Saquon Barkley.
We know what it
right?
is.
No, but sometimes you got to be reminded a little bit, right? Because somebody, they didn't think so. Yeah. You know, we want to give you just a little tiny $10 million. Dude, that's crazy for me to say. 10 million is little. But anyway, give you a little $10 million, right? And then we're going to let you give you some escalators that hit. And give you a little couple hundred thousand, 900,000 more. Cool. And then you're going to go over here. We're going to give this guy, our quarterback, that's not proven, had one solid season and a decent season last year, and we're going to give $160 million. Okay, cool, bet. You got the money, it's your offense. Saquon, you take him out. Now what they look like? They look terrible. They look bad. Yeah. And when you can't depend on that run and that type of elusive, strong running game with Saquon Barkley, this is what the Giants' offense looks like.
But Ben's saying that.
Yeah.
Can you get a refund, Joey Taylor? Can we get a refund?
And you said $10 million is a little bit of, like, that sounds crazy saying $10 million is a little bit of money. It's a little bit of money when you're paying him $47 million a year.
But here's my dilemma, though, with what's being said.
Okay.
It's not as if paying Saquon Barkley more money would have solved their current crisis. Saquon Barkley's not playing right now by choice. Saquon Barkley's not playing right now because he is hurt. So if Saquon Barkley would have been given $40, $50, $60, $70 million, they'd still be in this dilemma.
Situation. I agree.
They'd still be in the dilemma.
You didn't have to pay him that much money.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
My question is why pay him? Why pay him?
And if you knew, which, I mean, I don't work for the Giants, but I knew, Shady knew, if you got eyeballs and you can read stats, you know what Daniel Jones is without Saquon Barkley. So if you knew that, you just wanted to believe that he was now transformed. My thing with quarterbacks is this. If you have a rookie year, you have a rough rookie year, right? Maybe the situation's not right, maybe the coach isn't right, maybe the system isn't right, whatever. We'll give you a pass. Maybe even 2 years. So it takes time to develop into a really strong quarterback. It takes time. Daniel Jones had how many years?
He ain't no rookie.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Before Daboll got there.
3 of them.
At some point, we have to at least see something that is promising outside of running around. Because we know Daniel Jones had some nice runs last night.
Yeah, he
can run.
Had some good runs.
But that's not enough.
And what Joy's saying, just touching back on that, like it was your choice to pay him $160 million. You know what type of quarterback he was, right? And even how good Daboll is. Like, for example, right now, to me, he looks like a rookie. Yeah. He looks like a rookie out there. So my thing is, why not invest in a young rookie? Let him walk, right, and trade up. Do you got to do to get one of the top quarterbacks? And I think when you got a coach like Daboll, he could develop him.
Here's my thought, though.
Like he's been doing.
I feel like now we all have hindsight bias, and James Jones, I'm going to...
Oh, he's been trash. He been not that good.
But he's been not that good with everybody outside Daboll.
Okay.
Like, I don't blame Daboll for making the decision that Daboll made. For example, before Sean McVay showed up, Jared Goff was not a good quarterback. Y'all know Jared Goff under Jeff Fisher started 0-7. He was a repulsive quarterback. Sean McVay showed up when we saw how good Jared Goff could have been. Baker Mayfield had his best career when Kevin Stefanski showed up. 26 touchdowns, I believe 8 interceptions. When Baker Mayfield was with Freddie Kitchens or with Hugh Jackson or any other OC offensive mind, it wasn't going that well. If you're Brian Daboll, 2-5, and you know Brian Daboll, I believe you know him well.
So well.
When Daboll shows up, Daniel Jones all of a sudden has 22 total touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Daboll has to think to himself, and I do not fault him for it, oh, this is who Daniel Jones is with me. And Daniel Jones will continue to be better with me. So Daboll can't look at how Daniel Jones was in all those other relationships, just like you at home when you get into a relationship can't assess how another person was. Oh, this is who they are with me. So I don't fault Daboll. James, you haven't weighed in on that. Do you fault Daboll at all? I fault
Daboll because that's a really good thing you brought up with Sean McVay. Because Sean McVay came over here and transformed and turned around Jared Goff's career, and Jared Goff was playing at an MVP level with Todd Gurley and all these playmakers he had around him. Went to a Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, and you know what Sean McVay still did? With his own 2 eyes, he watched that tape. We got to get better at that quarterback position because as good as I got Jared Goff playing, we're not going to win the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Or this offense this offense is not going to be explosive as I want it to be with Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying? So with me, they paid him off potential. With your own 2 eyes, Brian Daboll, and we watched Daniel Jones play all last year and have his most successful season under you, and it was hard. It was some ugly football games you won, some really close football games. It's not just like he was balling, playing out of his mind. You had to design some great plays. You had to out-scheme a lot of coaches to just get this dude in the right position, not just drop back and say, hey, you know, go make the right throw. And I think that's what they did this year. Come in, you paid him all that money, you signed Darren Waller, you get a couple pieces at the receiver spot, and it's like, now go be a good quarterback in Daniel Jones with not out-scheming a bunch of people. And Daniel Jones has showed us since he came in the league, he cannot.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.